Lyudmila Pavlichenko. Lyudmila Pavlichenko was a Soviet sniper in the Red Army during World War II. She is credited with killing 309 Nazi soldiers. She served in the Red Army during the siege of Odessa and the siege of Sevastopol, during the early stages of the fighting on the Eastern Front. After she was injured in battle by a mortar shell, she was evacuated to Moscow. After she recovered from her injuries, she trained other Red Army snipers and was a public spokeswoman for the Red Army. In 1942, she toured the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. After the war ended in 1945, she was reassigned as a senior researcher for the Soviet Navy. She died of a stroke at the age of 58. Lyudmila was born in Bila Tserkva. The family moved to Kiev when Lyudmila was aged 14. Her father was a Communist Party member. He had served as a regimental commissar in the Red Army, being awarded the Order of the Red Banner. As a child, Lyudmila was a self-described tomboy who was fiercely competitive in athletic activities. In Kiev, she joined an Asuriakim shooting club, developed into an amateur sharpshooter, and earned her Voroshalov sharpshooter badge and a marksman certificate. In 1932, she married Alexei Pavlichenko and gave birth to a son. The marriage was soon dissolved, and Lyudmila returned to live with her parents. She attended night school as well as performing household chores. During the day, she worked as a grinder at the Kiev Arsenal factory. She enrolled at the Kiev University in 1937, where she studied history and intended to be a scholar and teacher. There, she competed on the university track team as a sprinter and pole vaulter. She was also enrolled in a military-style sniping school for 6 months by the Red Army. In June 1941, Pavlichenko was aged 25 in her 4th year studying history at Kiev University, when Nazi Germany began its invasion of the Soviet Union. Pavlichenko was among the first round of volunteers at the Odessa recruiting office, where she requested to join the infantry. She was finally accepted into the army as a sniper and assigned to the Red Army's 25th Rifle Division. There, she became one of 2,000 female snipers in the Red Army, of whom about 500 survived the war. Pavlichenko fought for about 2.5 months during the siege of Odessa and is credited with killing 187 soldiers. She was promoted to senior sergeant in August 1941, when she added 100 more kills to her official tally. At the age of 25, she married a fellow sniper, Alexei Kitsenko. Soon after the marriage, Kitsenko was wounded by a mortar shell and died from his injuries a few days later in the hospital. When the Nazis and their Romanian allies overran Odessa in October 1941, her unit was withdrawn by sea to Sevastopol and the Crimean Peninsula to fight in the siege of Sevastopol. There, she trained other snipers, who were credited with killing over 100 Axis soldiers during the battle. In May 1942, newly promoted Lieutenant Pavlichenko was cited by the Southern Army Council for killing 257 Axis soldiers. The number of soldiers Pavlichenko is credited with killing during World War II was 309, including 36 Axis snipers. In June 1942, Pavlichenko was hit in the face with shrapnel from a mortar shell. When she was injured, the Soviet High Command ordered for her to be evacuated from Sevastopol via submarine. She spent around a month in the hospital. Once she had recovered from her injuries, and instead of being sent back to the front, she became a propagandist for the Red Army, where she was nicknamed Lady Death. She also trained snipers for combat duty until the end of the war in 1945. In 1942, Pavlichenko was sent to Canada and the United States for a publicity visit as part of the Soviet Union's attempts to convince the other allies of World War II to open a second front against Nazi Germany. She also visited England in 1942. When the war ended, Pavlichenko finished her education at Kiev University and began a career as a historian. From 1945 to 1953, she was a research assistant at Soviet Navy headquarters. She was later active in the Soviet Committee of Veterans of War. Pavlichenko struggled constantly with depression because of the loss of her husband in the war. She also suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder and alcoholism, factors that are believed to have contributed to her early death. She died from a stroke on the 10th of October 1974 at the age of 58 and was buried in Novodevichy Cemetery in Moscow. Many thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel and like and share this video.